Hello guys and welcome to another video. I hope you've been well. Today you join me in the shed, which is the place where I keep most of my favorite stuff, which usually is car parts. This video will be slightly different because we will be doing one of my favorite things, which is working and improving the Land Rover. I have an order that has arrived a few days ago from the Bible of Land Rovers, Island 4x4, and it is a mix of maintenance and slight suspension improvements which should make the disco run a bit better and drive much better, hopefully, on road. So in this one of those modifications are the radius arms, which can't wait to be installed as it seems. In any case, in this video I am going to give you a quick tour of what I will be installing, and we will also go outside and install everything on the car. So let's start with the upgrades. First, we have some caster corrected radius arms. These will make the car ride much nicer and behave nicer on road because of the lift. I am going to explain their function in more detail once we are ready to install them on the car. I also have an adjustable panhard bar, which I am also going to explain the function of once we are ready to install everything. The panhard bar came with upgraded poly bushes. I do not really like poly bushes, but they are easy to fit and they came with the panhard bar, so I am going to put them on the car. I also have poly bushes for the radius arms. These are the two-piece poly bushes, which are much easier to install on the arms because they do not require a press. That's most of the suspension related things, and from there on it's mostly maintenance, like this new window regulator, because my driver's window won't go down because the regulator is broken. I have a discrete winch mount which will put the winch behind the original bumper, so it will hide it from the police, because as it is right now it is kind of illegal, and it will also clean up the front end of the car. And I also have some exterior trim pieces, like these lower lights for the bumper, which are currently broken, this which is currently missing, and some hub seals, the bushings for the radius arms, the swivel hub seals, because the swivel hubs are currently leaking. The front left one is leaking. Actually it has stopped leaking, which probably means it has no more grease in it, so it is kind of urgent that I change these. And I also have the grease for the swivel hubs, of course, and a 77-degree thermostat, which will hopefully keep this thing a bit cooler during the summer months, because temperatures in Cyprus can exceed 40 degrees and the 300 TDI is not having much fun, especially on mountain roads. Something I found quite funny is the difference in size between the Land Cruiser thermostat and the Discovery thermostat. Of course, the Land Cruiser is a 3 liter and the Discovery is a 2.5 liter engine, so it is a smaller engine, but the difference in flow right here is quite substantial. So I believe if the hole right here was a bit larger, it would definitely help the 300 TDI stay a bit colder. Also, something else I wanted to mention was this bushing right here comes from the front lower control arm of the Land Cruiser. An original one of these costs roughly 70 to 75 euros where I live. Now, 4 bushings for the front of the Land Rover, these front ones, the poly bushes, which are also upgraded, only cost 22 euros, and they are much easier to fit and they will also last longer because the front of the Discovery is a solid axle, so it puts far less strain on the bushings. And this is the main reason why I prefer to use the Land Rover off-road, because of stuff like these. It is easier to replace the bushings and it is also much cheaper. Of course, the IFS design of the Land Cruiser means that it rides better and it behaves better on road, but for off-roading you can't beat this design right here. Of course, there are Land Cruisers that use solid front axles, but the Prado is independent suspension. In any case, this is everything that needs to be fitted. I am going to get outside and slowly start putting stuff on the Discovery. I think I'm going to start with the radius arms and the panhard bar, and then move on to the other peripheral stuff. I will also explain some things as soon as we get going. So we are currently sitting in front of the Discovery, and this is the front solid axle. Before we get going with the installation of the radius arms, I thought I would explain their main function. Now, as you can probably tell, the front diff is currently sitting at an angle. This right here should be flat. Because of the lift, the center of the vehicle has now traveled upwards, which has pulled the arms with it. So because the arms have been pulled upwards, their angle has now changed, and this change in angle also changes the angle of the front differential. This is apparent when you take a look at the coil. As you can see, it is compressed in the rear and not as compressed in the front, which means that the base sits like this. It is tilted, which it shouldn't be. Now, this is a 2.5-inch lift, so it is still within the limits of the car, and this is the main reason why I have left it like this for about a year. But now, since the bushings of the radius arms, these are the stock radius arms, since these bushings need changing, I thought I might as well change the whole radius arm for a caster corrected one, which will improve the ride of the vehicle. Now, the panhard bar, which is this right here, and is going to be replaced with this new adjustable one. It basically centers the axle underneath the chassis. When a vehicle is lifted, a vehicle with a panhard bar, the mount that sits on the chassis goes higher up, while the mount that is on the axle stays where it is. Therefore, the distance between the two is now longer. Because the distance is longer, the panhard bar pulls the axle off center, which means that now one wheel sits further out the arch than the other one, and this obviously leads to worse handling and driving manners. And this is going to be fixed with this adjustable one, which can be adjusted to the length needed for the 2.5-inch lift on this Discovery. So this is pretty much the function of the upgrades. Let's get going. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. So this is the stock radius arm on top of the breed part 3-degree caster corrected one. So this is the difference right here. It isn't much, but this is enough to put the axle in a better spot. Also, the upgraded ones are stronger than the stock ones. So the caster corrected arms are in. They were a bit harder than I thought to get to line up and also to slot in the mounts right here. If you can open up these mounts, go ahead and do it. I tried opening them up, but it didn't work, so I need to use a jack to put the arm in place. It is a bit fiddly, but you will get them in for sure. Now it is time to install the adjustable panhard bar. So I was about to install the panhard bar, but these bushings absolutely suck, because when you put the pin through them, they bulge out, as you can see, and they won't fit into the mount right here. So I've put the old panhard bar back on, and I will change the bushings on this one at some point in the near future. But yeah, I think this is everything for this episode. As you can see, the coil now sits in a far better position than it used to. It is nearly perfectly straight, so I'm pretty sure this is going to make a big difference on steering. But yeah, I am going to change the hub seal and the other peripheral stuff I have shown you in the beginning. I don't think you need to see all that stuff, because it is boring. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.